Hey now, ladies and gentlemen. Hey now. 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 Welcome to hour number 2. Sorry, I'm text messaging. I'm texting. I got friends coming to town. It's on Saturday, John Bird. And you might want
Who are
to.
they?
I don't know if I need to say. I don't want to put their business out there. Hold on, I'll tell you. Coming to Birmingham. Coming to from 6 to 9.
Jody Stellar's going to be. Oh man, I'm sorry.
I don't know who Jody
No,
Stellar
I made that up. I'm smart.
Yeah, I just don't want to put it out there, but I guess a pretty notable guy that was from Birmingham is gonna be in town and just invited me to stop by and say hi. And I think, what do you got going on Saturday night?
I think I'm wide open.
Because if maybe we could, I probably wouldn't stay out long. So like, uh, me and Peyton have plans of watching the Elimination Chamber, which is the WWE pay-per-view Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's from like 6 to 9, that same time frame. But it wouldn't hurt for us to just swing by there just so we can say hi, because it's not that far
What
out.
time is that person?
6 to
be
9.
there? Oh, okay. And hey, I appreciate. So we're going to watch the. What is that we're watching? You, me, and Peyton.
Are you coming?
Yeah, you told me I could come. What?
I mean, if you want to, you can come. I mean, we're just watching it at the house.
Oh yeah, you're right. You don't need me around to mess things up.
Do you want to come? You want to come and you want me to cook something, don't you?
Yeah.
What do you want me to cook?
I don't care. You can poop in a pan. You are magic when it comes to cooking, especially like watching sports events
So you want
and
me
doing tough stuff, cutting wood and stuff.
You want me to poop in a pan, poop pot pie?
Yeah, well, that's not really. That's like from The Help with the poop pie. But no, just whatever.
I guess I could do like, again, I don't have that many things I cook. I could do like I could do Philly cheesesteak sliders or pepperoni pizza sliders or
But you know what? I mean, you
stuffed
can.
peppers.
Oh.
The stuffed peppers take a long time.
Oh,
though.
okay. Yeah, I mean, just think, look around and say, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to review it right there.
Yeah, that's right, because you could help me take some video.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe I'll just do the Philly cheesesteak sliders. Did you ever try those? Did I ever give you some of those?
No, I did not.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Maybe I'll do that.
I'm all over it, brother.
I need to ask my wife if you're allowed to come over.
Trish, are you kidding me? She said, John Bird, you're welcome to come over anytime.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, she did.
Okay, I'll take your word on it.
Okay.
Anyway, our YouTube is down at the moment. For those of you wondering, I have sent the email in to get that handled, and hopefully we'll be back up and going. Did you tell our people about what you call it? About finding us online, our Florida people?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. All right, here we go. 205-545-9950, 545-9950. Let's. God, man, I got so many different things going on right now. Hold on, I'm trying to get my things in order. Let me just go to Rick real quick, who's out in McCalla, while I handle this. Rick, what's up, buddy?
You are. Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey. Yeah. I lost my train of thought. What am I going to do now?
I don't know. Talk about your favorite recipe.
I've been listening for an hour.
Have you?
What I was thinking about was, I was thinking of this country like a new world, and we've abandoned all the things that made us great, and we got to get back to it. We got to get back to our founding fathers, and what this country was based on, which was biblical principles.
Yep. That's the number one thing right there. That's the and that's what's really, at the end of the day, that's what's allowed this country to survive for so long. Rick always hangs up after I start talking, but I think it's because he likes to hear what I have to say. But no, Rick's right. At the end of the day, I mean, it sounds cliche, and it's something we've said for a long time, but a majority of this country's problems go back to us distancing ourselves from the national belief in Christ and using that as our guiding light, and the decision making as far as what this country becomes, what we do, policy decisions, everything has been in the opposite direction. And if we could get back to that, because at the end of the day, every knee's gonna bend, every head's gonna bow, everybody's gonna acknowledge Jesus. It's in the meantime, it'd be nice to, get this thing back on track. All right, so you say YouTube's back up?
Yes, they must have. Maybe Frank did it like long distance from another computer. But I said, what the heck, I'm just going to try it, and I pressed it and it works. So far we're good.
Lord.
Back up.
So do I need to do a follow-up email to tell them? Yeah, here we are.
Just tell them that we just decided to try it and it's working again, but you still may want to check the cache.
Okay. Well, I'll just let it be, and if they come in there, you can tell them it's working.
Okay.
Because I'm sitting here trying to do too many things, and I got to do a freaking radio show. We go to Richard the Cop next. Richard, what's up, buddy?
Got a simple recipe for you, because I know you love hot stuff. Alabama Hell Hot Beef Stew.
Alabama Hell Hot Beef Stew.
Oh, yeah.
That's something I can't cook no more because my wife can't hardly breathe hot air. Anyway, you get your beef roast. Don't get stew meat. Get a beef roast. Put it in your crock pot. Put in brown gravy, pack of brown gravy, pack of onion soup mix, your green beans, your little sliced carrots, little sliced, you can buy the cans of the slice of the whole potatoes. Put them in there. Put the meat in there. Fill it up with water, and then take the hottest. Come on in, ma'am.
0325?
Yes, ma'am. Take the hottest pepper that you can get, pepper sauce you can get. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm on the phone.
Oh.
Give me just a minute. I'll put here and turn around.
Tell her you're talking to the most famous radio.
I'm on the radio talking to a friend of mine. The hottest pepper you can get, and pour the whole bottle in it and cook it on low for 8 to 12 hours.
Dang.
And tell Trish and tell Peyton, do not take the lid off that. Stick your face in it.
Yeah.
So that'll be a trip to the shower with the baby shampoo to decompress your eyes.
Nice. Sounds like it's right up my alley, man.
It's good stuff. I hadn't made it in a long time because the wife can't eat hot. Y'all have a good day, boys. Roll Tide.
All right, buddy. There's Richard the Cop. In the middle of getting an Uber passenger, she's like, I'm sorry, what are you saying? What recipe is that? Richard the Cop's like, I'm sorry, I'm on the radio right now. That takes me back, dude, to all the Uber rides that I did. I think I did about, because they used to keep up with them. You'd be able to go to the app and see how many rides you did. I think maybe I did about 20,000. Maybe not 20,000. Maybe like 10 or 15,000. 10 or 15,000 rides in 3 years. I went through 2 vehicles. I put almost 400,000 miles. Not all of those were Uber miles, but by the time it kicked the bucket, almost 400,000 miles on that 2010 Toyota Camry. And then I got a Hyundai Sonata that I put 270,000 miles on it until the engine locked up. Bird remembers all this.
I do.
The engine locked up, and then my buddy Chris from out in Jasper at the Hyundai dealership in Jasper, great guys, by the way. They helped guide me to Hyundai actually buying the car back for like $5,000 because it was a manufacturer defect or whatever. And a lot of those were, again, Uber miles, man. I tore up the highways back in the day. Had some days where I made a lot of money. Had some days where I didn't make a lot of money, but it helped.
Those
keep
were
me,
tough times, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. It helped keep us afloat while I was out of radio, and I was kind of doing it in a mindset of I'm going to get back in radio. But at the end of the day, I had no idea if that was actually going to happen or not. I mean, Murphy told me it would, but Murphy could have just been blowing smoke up my hind end.
Yeah, well, he told me the same thing, and it took a while, but old Murphy, he comes through before you.
What did you think, like, when Murphy told you, hey, we're trying to get this Andrew guy hired? Did you know anything about me? Did you ever listen to the show when I would fill in?
Well, I did talk to him. I'm like, shouldn't you really get somebody with some real experience?
Yeah.
No. I said, well, hey, man, I'm looking forward to it. He's young. Let's do this thing.
And little did you know that we were going to create this monster.
Yeah,
man. All right, so quick update on Nancy Guthrie. It's hard to believe that that's still going on. We are reaching almost a month since Nancy Guthrie's been missing.
Crazy.
Savannah Guthrie comes out today with a video saying that she will give $1 million to anybody that can give them information that will ultimately bring her mom back. And it's sad, man. It's sad to watch those videos. I know it's heartbreaking for the family. I still am puzzled by the whole thing, but on the humanity side of it, you do kind of feel awful for what that family's going through. So, no new information, nothing to really add to that or whatever. Yesterday, Donald Trump held a ceremony for the Angel families. He was honoring the Angel families. This was actually happening at the beginning of the show, and we didn't carry any of it. It was about 3/4 of the way through by the time we started, and we ended up talking about poop or Olympics or whatever it is we talk about. Got distracted. But I went back and watched some of it, and one of the comments that he made to the Angel families during his speech really struck me. Listen to what he said.
But Americans like Lakin and Grant and Javier, Joshua, Rocky, Rachel, Kayla, these are great people, and we're never going to forget them. I'll never forget them. I don't know how long I'll be around. Got a lot of people gunning for me, don't I? Huh? But I will not forget them. I'm never going to forget them. And I just think you're among the most brave people. I meet a lot of brave people. I meet warriors. They give out congressional medals of honor where people recommend, like these two in front of me who are so wonderful, but they recommend, and I meet the greatest people. But this is a group of people that, for whatever reason, I just feel maybe the warmest about. So at least you have one friend, and we don't understand why you don't have many, and maybe you will. I don't know.
Two things that got to me. One was he said, at least you've got one friend. You've got me. And it baffles me that you don't have more, in the sense of talking about the media and the fact that Democrats don't care about these families or anything else. But the other one was where he says, I don't know how long I will be around. There's a lot of people gunning for me. And it kind of broke my heart to hear Trump say that, because as we know, he's got more attempts on his life. I mean, just recently you had the one guy, 21-year-old with a shotgun and a gas canister breaking into Mar-a-Lago. He gets more assassination attempts than any politician that I can really remember in my lifetime. And to hear him say that, it was heartbreaking, because it was almost as if he's just kind of accepted the fact that he could just go at any time. Like that at any moment, somebody could roll up and just shoot him dead. and that he understands that, and it's like he's accepted it. And I listen to that and I'm like, man, what an what a what an awful mindset to have to be in. But he also at the same time seems to be at such peace with it. To be like, you know what? I could go anytime, and I'm gonna do what I can to help people such as the Angel families, such as average Americans. I'm gonna help them as much as possible while I'm here.
I think that that speaks to his cabinet, his vice president. I believe that part of him thinking that is, and this is kind of morbid, but if I go down for some reason, I feel confident that I have the people in place to continue the legacy.
Right. Yeah. It's just tragic that he's even got to live that way, but it's also something that highlights the the pure evil that seeps from the left, And not all Democrats are obviously uh, looking to assassinate the president or commit violence, but a lot of them are, and most of them come from that political ideology, and they all have Trump derangement syndrome, and that disease manifests itself in a way that could take the life of the president at any time. And I hate it for him, but I respect his, I don't know, his calmness about it. The fact that he's accepted it, but still pushes forward to do right by the American people. That's why he is the best president ever. All right, State of the Union coming up tonight. Let's talk a little bit about that when we get back on the other side. 545-9950. Don't go anywhere. So tonight, the nationally televised speech will serve as Donald Trump's opportunity, and it's really the first. I know he did a State of the Union. He did a State of the Union last year, right? But this is kind of the first official one. Usually, you want to get a year in and be able to say, "Well, this is what we've done, and this is what we're doing moving forward." But it's a big one. It's Donald Trump's opportunity to lay out the administration's legislative priorities, outline the current condition of the nation, and present his policy roadmap for the year ahead. You will probably see updates on border security and immigration enforcement, economic growth initiatives, inflation and cost of living relief. You'll see things, he'll talk about things like military readiness and national defense, America's standing on the global stage. According to roll call, Donald Trump will participate in the annual State of the Union luncheon at 12:30 p.m. today, which is here in about 2 minutes in the Blue Room of the White House. So he's got a couple different things he's doing today. But according to reports, approximately 50 Democrats are expected to skip the address. That number has gone up to 50, while most of the top leadership, including Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, plan to attend. You've got dozens of others who are all riddled with TDS, have joined organized boycotts and counter-programming events like the People's State of the Union rally on the National Mall, which nobody's going to watch, and the State of the Swamp event, I guess they're calling it. Or maybe that's what we're calling it. Here's the senators that are skipping: Adam Schiff, Chris Murphy, Chris Van Hollen, which, by the way, Chris Van Hollen, it's amazing to watch the Democrats freak out over Kash Patel drinking a beer with the USA hockey team when Chris Van Hollen went to El Salvador to drink a margarita with a human trafficking gang member. What's his name? Abrego Garcia. Ed Markey, Jeff Merkley, Patty Murray, Ron Wyden, Ruben Gallego, Tina Smith, and Angus King, who is actually an independent, but we'll call him a Democrat. Those are the senators that are skipping tonight. Then on the House side, the people skipping are AOC, Amy Barra, Becca Ballant, Bonnie Watson Coleman, Shalee Pingree. Nobody knows who some of these people are. Dan Goldman, Dalia Ramirez, Diana DeGette, Dina Titus, Eric Swalwell, Greg Cesar, Jan Skala, what's her name? Skakowski, Jared Goldman, Pramila Jayapal, Seth Moulton, Veronica Escobar, and Yasmin Ansari from Arizona. Those are the individuals not participating in the State of the Union. And let me say, we ain't gonna miss you.
The two remaining members did a live documentary on stage. It was really, really cool.
Really?
Yeah,
We're gonna
really
see
cool.
this.
Yeah, Netflix, I believe.
Netflix.
Really, really cool.
I've got the same birthday as which one of the dead guys' name?
I think it's Dead Boy. I think it's no,
John Bird.
no. I know that was tasteless.
MJ. What's his name? Beastie Boy members. Mike. Is it Mike D? I think it's Mike D. Mike D. Me and Mike D have the same birthday.
Yeah.
Mike D.
Wait, MCA.
No. MCA, that's who it is.
Adam.
Adam, that's right. Me and Adam have the same day, same birthday. He died on May 4th, 2012. My Lord, that was a long time ago.
I know it, man.
Speaking of Netflix, we watched the first episode of the documentary about America's Next Top Model. Remember we had talked about, we got Naomi Campbell and Tyra Banks confused?
Yeah, I was wondering about that. How was it?
First episode, I wasn't interested in it because I never watched the show. But to go back and watch it was very interesting because the controversy happened. Like, they were very bad. They were not nice to these contestants. And really, it was huge back in the 90s. But in 2020, when people were binge watching stuff due to COVID, there was a big controversy started about how many people were watching this for the first time, and they were like, oh my God, they treated those girls so awful. So then it created this big hoopla about how awful Tyra Banks and the people on that show were to
And wasn't
girls.
there very flamboyant former employees that were disgruntled?
I don't know. I only watched the first episode.
Okay, I didn't know if they had any of the flamboyant, like, she was so mean.
Yeah,
She was so mean to all those girls.
Nah, there's obviously, 2 or 3 gay guys that are on the panel or whatever, but I haven't gotten far enough to see if there was like a breakdown among the staff or anything. But it was interesting. I didn't expect it to be. I thought it'd be kind of stupid because I never liked the show, but it's been interesting to watch. I love documentaries. But you talking about the dead members of Beastie Boys. Speaking of dying, and this is looking at this honestly is kind of morbid, and it's a tradition that's been done for as long as our government's been put together. I don't know when this started actually, but the whole designated survivor thing that they do for the State of the Union, members of Congress will be designated to watch the State of the Union at a different location in the event that there's a mass casualty event for all the members of the government, and that person will be, the guy that takes over or whatever for any particular position. And the Democrats have selected their designated survivor for the State of the Union address, which is for the spot of Hakeem Jeffries. Would be the House Minority Leader. He has to have a designated survivor as well. And they picked Mike Thompson, which is some old crusty white guy from California. As a designated survivor, Thompson will watch the State of the Union address from a secure, undisclosed location to preserve congressional leadership in the event of a catastrophic emergency. They released that in a press release, and later in the press release, Thompson used his selection as the designated survivor to attack Donald Trump.
You know what's interesting? All these Democrats that are not going, I'm not saying there's any kind of conspiracy or anything, but
that's 50 designated survivors right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. So, hopefully they've got some serious tight
security.
Security.
Yeah. That's what they do, obviously. Here's what Mike Thompson said. He said, I've been selected as a designated survivor for tomorrow's State of the Union, so I won't be there in person, but I'll be watching. Americans deserve accountability for the militarization of ICE, terrorization of our communities, and killing of American citizens. You would think that there's just been some sort of genocide in this country based on the rhetoric coming out of the
I know
left.
it.
We had 2 psycho liberal protesters that attacked law enforcement and FAFO'd, and we act like this is the modern day genocide of whatever.
Yeah, it's always a genocide, like trans.
Yeah.
They're. I mean,
Currently, I'm looking at court live out of, I believe this is the Charlie Kirk case in Utah, where the judge is deciding whether to remove the prosecutors. But I'm not exactly sure as to what that means. Can we go to that for a moment? This is the Tyler Robinson case out of Utah with the Charlie Kirk assassination, and they're broadcasting it live via Zoom. Let's see what we got here.
Of the court. The first, standing decorum order effective February 24th, 2026. Second, order on February 3rd, 2026, hearing transcript. Next, standing order on redacting and filing transcripts. Next is the granting news media's motion to amend standing order for Rule 4-202.04, notice of motions for classification. Next, granting news media's motion for attorney's eyes only access to closure motions. And finally, amended standing order, which addresses procedures to classify a public record as non-public. Next, let's turn to the ruling and order on defendant's motion to disqualify Utah County Attorney's Office. The court appreciates the patience of all parties with respect to this motion.
We'll dip out of this. Okay, so I guess what's happening here is that the defendants are trying to get rid of the prosecutors for a conflict of interest, and I feel like I remember something about that. So this is just kind of legal mumbo jumbo, which will change the course of this case. But I'll let that play out and then give you guys an update as soon as it wraps up, because it's just going to be a bunch of legal jargon that people like me with not a whole lot of brain cells are going to struggle to follow. Let me go to Clarissa real quick. Clarissa, what's up?
Hey, friend, I just wanted to say that the Democrats are just mad that patriotism coming back. It's good to know that the AOC isn't attending the address tonight. Let that prove to her people that she cannot work, and she will not work with conservatives, even though I think that's pretty known if there's anybody that's on the fence about her. Also, I just wanted to say that I am an Angel family, unfortunately, as we lost my sister-in-law at the hands of a repeat offender illegal here in Birmingham back in 2005. And when I can tell you for the first time since 2005, after working with Scott Beeson, Eagle Forum of Alabama, all these organizations, Andrew, hear my voice when I tell you, for the first time since 2005, I feel like I can lay down this fight.
Yeah. No, I can understand that, because they're you, as well as the families, the high profile cases that we've seen over the past few years and everything else. You could tell that those families finally feel like they have somebody fighting for them, while they've just had to suffer in silence for years and years, like yourself, and feel like that there's not going to be any sort of justice, and that this cycle is going to continue, that these type of things are going to continue to happen. And it's a wonderful thing to see that fight be taken up by President Trump.
Well, it's wonderful to be American. God bless USA. War Eagle.
There you go. Clarissa always laying it down. I love it. And by the way, I want to note, she mentioned Scott Beeson, one of the most genuine men I know.
Yep.
One of the most godly men I know. That guy is true to what he says and what he is. And I've said that time and time again. I've never met a guy quite like Scott Beeson. Like he's the kind of guy you want your kids looking up to. And I got to work with him for a brief time, couple of years, and we're friends and we still talk. But he was just such a good dude. He was too much of a good dude for Montgomery, so he essentially got ran out of town because he was trying to do the right thing. And it doesn't surprise me. I don't necessarily remember his background on fighting for angel families, but I'm not surprised by that. So Kind of wish he'd get back in the game, honestly, at the end of the day. I don't think he would, but he's a good dude. He's teamed up with 1819, and he still does a radio show. And I just want to say that I can't say enough good things about Scott Beeson. You're not gonna find anybody that can say a bad word about him. I don't believe. I don't believe unless it's a Democrat.
Boo.
Democrats probably say some bad words about Scott Beeson. All right, so these individuals, 50 plus Democrats not showing up, fine, whatever. We're not going to miss you. Makes more room for patriotic Americans like Team USA. I actually noticed that about an hour ago, the USA hockey team boarded a military plane in Miami, specifically sent by President Trump.
Woo!
So they can be flown to D.C. for the State of the Union tonight. It's a U.S. Air Force 757 plane. Trump's giving them the ultimate VIP treatment. Well-deserved patriots. That's what I'm talking about. And I can't wait to see them and watch them get, Trump will recognize them during the speech likely. And it's just going to be a cool moment. Must-watch TV. I know all you guys will be tuned in, and I can't wait for it. On the other side of that, we've got what happened with the Supreme Court with the tariffs and more to come. I want to touch on that on the other side. 205-545-9950. More of the line next. All right, so out of Provo, Utah, the judge has dismissed the defense's push to remove the prosecutors from the Charlie Kirk murder case. So nothing's going to change on that front. And it's obviously the defense trying to do whatever they can to give him the upper hand. Usually in these cases, you have a situation where the defense is ultimately trying to avoid the death penalty and go with life in prison. But my concern is more what really happened on that day. I was reading an article this morning about his Tyler Robinson's transferee boyfriend. And remember, there was a lot of questions about what that individual knew or like whatever. And that person has never been really I don't even know if that person has been thoroughly interrogated. Apparently, he's up and moved to Texas and is now hiding out in Texas somewhere, trying to build back a normal furry life or whatever kind of weird sexual fetish that individual has. But if you go back and look at the text messages from that day, remember how that all played out? That Tyler Robinson was texting his boyfriend and explaining everything that he did, and the boyfriend was acting all surprised and like, "Oh my gosh, did you really do that?" And he's all like, "Yeah." And my dad's asking for pictures of the gun because the FBI has released, photos of the rifle and everything else. This was all on September 10th. But when you look at the timeline, those text messages from September 10th were predating what was going to happen the next day, September 11th. Because on September 11th is when the FBI released the photos of the rifle, and September 11th is when the dad messaged Tyler Robinson to say, "Hey, send me a picture of your grandpa's rifle. I want to see it," or he wants to, whatever. He wants to see if you still have it. Remember, y'all remember that. And so that's one of many questions that we still have about the assassination of Charlie Kirk that makes zero sense. And I don't have a lot of confidence that that stuff will come out in the court case, but still suspicious. Very suspicious, just like Butler, Pennsylvania, just like what happened at the golf course with what's his name, Ryan Ralph. Like, we didn't get answers for none of that stuff. And that's, again, goes back to Donald Trump saying, "Hey, I'm constantly under threat of being gunned down, so I don't know how long I'm going to be here." It's a terrifying thought to think that Donald Trump could be taken out at any moment. I know a lot of y'all pray on a daily basis that doesn't happen. That man definitely could use prayers wherever you can send them. Anyway, I was talking about, speaking of court, remember the tariff decision, awful decision. Donald Trump made his thoughts known on that, even made a comment about how, one, he was very disappointed in the justices, but two, mentioned foreign influence on some of the justices. And he was asked about it by a reporter, and he said, "You'll find out," which was something that I think that nobody really covered in the media or followed up on, but I'm curious as to what Trump is alluding to, because when he makes comments like that, there's something to it. Like, he knows something. He's not just pulling that out of his ass. He's saying that, "Oh, I know that there's something going on behind the scenes." And if there's foreign influence on our Supreme Court, that is a serious, serious problem. And it's why Donald Trump has made it clear that he predicts the Supreme Court will find a way to come to the wrong conclusion on the issue of birthright citizenship. We're waiting on the Supreme Court to decide that, to say, Trump's executive order that directs federal agencies to only recognize baby born to people in the country legally as American citizens. Pretty common sense. Most other countries go by that same policy, but in this country, we don't for some reason. He said in a Truth Social post, he says, the Supreme Court, he says, the Supreme Court, he says, will be using lowercase letters for a while based on a complete lack of respect. He put the Supreme Court in all lowercase letters. Of the United States, accidentally and unwittingly gave me, as President of the United States, far more powers and strength than I had prior to their ridiculous, dumb, and very internationally divisive ruling. For one thing, I can use licenses to do absolutely terrible things to foreign countries, especially those countries that have been ripping us off for many decades, but incomprehensibly, according to the ruling, can't charge them a license fee. But all licenses charge fees. Why can't the United States do so? You do a license to get a fee. The opinion doesn't explain that, but I know the answer. The court has also approved all other tariffs, of which there are many, and they can all be used in a much more powerful and obnoxious way with legal certainty than the tariffs as initially used. Our incompetent Supreme Court did a great job for the wrong people, and for that, they should be ashamed of themselves, but not the great three. He's talking about Kavanaugh and Clarence Thomas and Justice Scalia. He said, the next thing you know, they will rule in favor of China and others who are making an absolute fortune on birthright citizenship by saying the 14th Amendment was not written to take care of the babies of slaves, which it was, as proven by the exact timing of its construction, filing, and ratification, which perfectly coincided with the end of the Civil War. How much better can you do than that? But this Supreme Court will find a way to come to the wrong conclusion, and that again will make China and various other nations happy and rich. Let our Supreme Court keep making decisions that are so bad and that are so bad to the future of our nation. I have a job to do. Make America great again, Donald J. Trump. And he's right. He's right on all those fronts. The Supreme Court will likely make the wrong decision on that, but we'll see. Also, in a debanking lawsuit from Donald Trump against J.P. Morgan, they made a humiliating admission in that $5 million lawsuit. I'll tell you next.